Om Shanti. 12th August 2020. Baapdada Murli. In the essence, Baba says, sweet children, by following devilish dictates, you became homeless. Now, by following God's directions, you will go to the land of happiness. Question: what hope should you children have in the Father, and what hopes should you not have in the Father? Answer: the only hope you must have in the Father is that you will be made pure by the Father and go back to your home and kingdom. Baba says, children, don't hope that I will give blessings to someone who is ill. There is no question of mercy or blessing here. I have come to make you children pure from impure. I am now teaching you how to perform such acts that you will not perform any more sinful acts. Song: if not today, then tomorrow these clouds will disperse. Om Shanti. You spiritual children heard the song? You children know that you now have to return home and that the Father has come to take you back. Only when you are soul conscious can you remember this. If you are body conscious, you are unable to remember this. You children know that Baba has come as the traveler. You too came here as travelers. You forgot your home. The Father has now reminded you of your home, and he explains to you every day that you cannot return home until you become Sato Pradhan. You children understand that what Baba says is right. When the Father gives you children Srimad, those who are obedient immediately follow those directions. At this time, there is no other Father who gives proper directions. This is why you have become homeless. Only the one Father gives you Srimad. Some children don't even follow his directions. It is a wonder. They easily follow the directions of their physical fathers. Those are devilish directions. This too is in the drama. However, he has explained to you children, you have reached that state by following devilish directions. Now, by following God's directions, you will go to the land of happiness. That is your unlimited inheritance. He explains to you every day. Therefore, you children should remain very cheerful. Not everyone is allowed to stay here. Even while living at home, you have to remember him. This part is now about to end. You now have to return home. Human beings have completely forgotten this. It is said of someone, he has completely forgotten his home and country. The Father now says, remember your home and also your kingdom. Our paths are now ending. We now have to return home. Have you forgotten this? You children could say, Baba, according to the drama, our paths are such that we forgot our home and we wandered around. It is only the residents of Bharat who have forgotten their elevated religion, dharma, and action, karma, and their divine religion and divine action have become corrupt. The Father has now cautioned you. Your dharma and karma used to be this. Whatever act you perform there were neutral. Only the Father explains the philosophy of action, neutral action and sinful action to you children. Actions are neutral in the golden age. Actions in Ravan's kingdom are sinful. The Father has now come to make your dharma and karma elevated. Therefore, now perform elevated acts by following Srimad. Don't cause anyone sorrow by performing corrupt act. That is not the work of God's children. Follow whatever directions you receive and imbibe divine virtues. Your food should be pure. If under desperate situation you can't get food, then ask for advice. Baba understands that. At your workplace, you might sometimes have to eat something else. Since you are establishing a kingdom with the power of yoga and purifying the impure world, it is not a big thing to purify your food. You do have to go to work. It isn't because you now belong to the Father that you can give up everything and come and stay here. There are so many children. Not all of them can stay here. Everyone has to live with their family. Understand, I am a soul. Baba has come to purify us and take us back home. Then we will go to our kingdom. This is the foreign, dirty kingdom of Ravan. According to the drama plan, you have become completely impure. The Father says, I have now come to awaken you. Therefore, follow Srimad. To the extent that you follow Srimad, so you will accordingly become elevated. You now understand that you forgot the Father who makes you into the masters of heaven. Baba has now come to reform you. Therefore, you should reform yourselves very well, should you not? You should be happy that you have found the unlimited Father. He talks to you, children, in the same way as you souls talk among themselves, yourselves. He too is a soul. He is the supreme soul. He too has a part to play. You souls are actors. There are parts for the highest of all to the lowest of all. On the path of devotion, human beings sing that God does everything. The Father says, my part is not such that I can cure those who are ill. My part is to show you the way to become pure. By becoming pure, you will be able to go home and then also go to your kingdom. Don't have any other hopes in the Father, such as so and so is ill and so he should receive blessings. No, there is no question of mercy or blessings where I am concerned. For that you can go to the sages and holy men, etc. You have been calling out to me, O purifier, come and purify us. Take us to the pure world. Therefore the Father asks you, I am removing you from the ocean of poison and taking you across. So then, why do you become trapped in the ocean of poison? That became your condition on the path of devotion. Knowledge and devotion are for you. Sannyasis too speak of knowledge, devotion and disinterest, but they don't understand the meaning of that. Your intellects now have knowledge and devotion. Later on, there will be disinterest. So there has to be someone who can teach you unlimited disinterest. The Father has told you that this is a graveyard. Later it will become the land of angels. Every act there is neutral. The Father now teaches you to perform such acts that you don't perform any sinful acts. Don't cause anyone sorrow. Don't eat food prepared by impure people. Don't indulge in vice. It is because of this vice that you, innocent ones, are beaten. You continue to see how obstacles are created by Maya. All of this is incognito. It is said that there was a war between the devils and deities. Then it is said that there was a war between the Pandavas and Kauravas. However, there is only one war. The Father explains, I teach you Raj Yoga for your future 21 births. This is the land of death. Human beings have been listening to the story of becoming the true Narayan, but they haven't benefited from that. You now relate the true Gita. You also relate the true Ramayana. It wasn't just a question of one Ram and Sita. At this time, the whole world is Lanka, an island. There is water all around. This is the unlimited Lanka over which there is the kingdom of Ravan. The one Father is the bridegroom and all the rest are brides. The Father is now liberating you from the kingdom of Ravan. This is the cottage of sorrow, Shok. The golden age is called the cottage without sorrow, Ashok. There is no sorrow there. At this time, there is sorrow and only sorrow everywhere. There isn't a single soul who doesn't have sorrow. There are names such as Ashoka Hotel, hotel without sorrow. The Father says, at this time, consider the whole world to be an unlimited hotel. It is a hotel of sorrow. The food and drink of human beings is like that of animals. Look, where the Father is taking you. The true cottage of no sorrow exists in the golden age. Only the Father soul shows you this contrast between the limited and the unlimited. You children should remain very happy. You know that Baba is teaching you. Your duty is also the same, to show everyone the path to become a stick for the blind. You have the pictures at schools. A teacher points out such and such a country using a map. You too can point out you are a soul, not a body. All souls are brothers. You tell them such a simple thing. They say, we are all brothers. The Father says, all of you souls are brothers. You speak of God the Father. Therefore, you must never fight or quarrel among themselves. When you become bodily beings, you are brothers and sisters. All of you children of Shiv Baba are brothers. And as children of Prajapita Brahma, you are brothers and sisters. You have to claim your inheritance from the grandfather. This is why you remember the grandfather. I have made this child Brahma belong to me. That is, I have entered him. You now understand all of these things. The Father says, children, the new divine family path is now being established. All of you Brahmakumaris and Kumaris are following Shiv Baba's directions. Brahma too is following his directions. The Father says, consider yourself to be a soul and remember the Father and continue to reduce all other relationships. There has to be 8 hours of remembrance. Then you can rest or do any business, etc. Whatever you want to do in the remaining 16 hours, don't forget that you are a child of the Father. Don't think that you can come here and stay in a hostel. No, you have to live in your household with your children. You come to the Father to refresh yourselves. People go to Mathura and Vrindavan, places associated with Krishna, to have a glimpse of Madhuban. They have created a small model of it. On the path of devotion, these unlimited matters have to be understood. Shiv Baba is creating the new world through Brahma. We Brahmakumaris and Kumaris are the children of Prajapita Brahma. There cannot be any question of whys here. When someone becomes a follower of a sannyasi, he changes his costume and puts on sannyasi's clothes. His name is also changed. He too, when you came and belonged to Baba, Baba changed your names. So many stayed in that bhakti. No one knows about that bhakti. Such stories have been written in the scriptures. All of this will happen again. The world cycle now turns around in your intellects. The Father too is Swadershan Chakradhari. He knows the beginning, middle and end of the world. Baba does not have a body of his own. You have physical bodies. He is the Supreme Soul. It is the soul that spins the discus of self-realization. How could a soul be shown with those ornaments? This is something that has to be understood. These matters are so subtle, the Father says. In fact, I am Swadershan Chakradhari. You know that you souls receive the knowledge of the whole world cycle. Baba and all of us are residents of the Supreme Edo. Father comes and gives his introduction. Children, I too am the spinner of the discourse of self-realization. I, the purifier, have come to you. You have called me to come and purify you and to liberate you. He doesn't have a body of his own. He is beyond birth and rebirth. Although he does not take a birth, it is a divine birth. People celebrate the birthday of Shiva or night of Shiva. The Father says, I come when the night comes to an end. Therefore, I come to make it into the day. In the day you take 21 births and in the night you take 63 births. It is you souls that take different births. You souls came into the night from the day and you now have to go into the day again. You are made into spinners of the discus of self-realization. My part is played at this time. I also make you into the spinners of the discus of self-realization. You then have to make others into this. The cycle of how you take 84 births has been explained to you. Did you have this knowledge previously? Not at all. You were totally ignorant. Baba explains the main thing, that he is the spinner of the discus of self-realization. He is also called the ocean of knowledge. He is the truth and the living being. He is giving you children your inheritance. Baba says to you children, don't fight or quarrel among yourselves. Don't become like salt water. Remain constantly cheerful and give everyone the Father's introduction. Everyone has forgotten the Father. The Father now says, constantly remember me alone. Incorporeal God speaks to incorporeal souls. You are originally incorporeal, then you become corporeal. A soul cannot do anything without a corporeal body. When a soul leaves his body, there cannot be any movement. That soul immediately goes and plays his part in another body. Understand all of these things very well. Continue to grind them into yourselves. I, this soul, am receiving my inheritance from Baba. You are given your inheritance of the golden age. It must definitely have been the Father who gave the people of Bharat their inheritance. When did he give this inheritance and what happened afterwards? Human beings don't know this at all. The fathers now tell you everything. You children have been made into spinners of the discus of self-realization. You take 84 births. I have now come once again. I explain things to you in such an easy way. Remember the Father and become sweet. Your aim and objective is in front of you. The Father is the lawyer of all lawyers. He frees you from all arguments. You children should have a lot of internal happiness that you have become Baba's children. The Father has adopted us in order to give us our inheritance. You come here to claim your inheritance. The Father says, while looking after your children, etc., your intellect should be with the unlimited Father and your kingdom. The study is so easy. How can you forget the Father who makes you into the masters of the world? First of all, definitely consider yourselves to be souls. It is at the confluence age that the Father gives you this knowledge, because it is at the confluence age that you have to become pure from impure. Acha. To the sweetest spiritual mouth-born creation of Brahma, the decoration of the Brahmin clan, and even more elevated than the deity clan. You perform a very elevated service of Bharat. You are now becoming worthy of worship. Baba is now making you worshippers who are like shells into worthy of worship diamonds. To such spiritual children, good morning, love and remembrance from the mother, the father, Baapdada. The spiritual father says namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children in return to the spiritual father says, good morning, namaste, namaste, namaste. Essence for dharana. Point number 1. Every act should be an elevated act according to Srimad. Don't cause anyone sorrow. Imbibe divine virtues. Only follow the Father's directions. Point number 2. In order to remain constantly cheerful, spin the discus of self-realization. Never become like salt water. Give everyone the Father's introduction. Become very, very sweet. Blessing. May you be introverted and remain constantly merged with love in the ocean of happiness. May you be introverted and remain constantly merged with love in the ocean of happiness. It is said, those who are introverted are always happy. The children who receive the blessing of being constantly introverted remain merged with love in the ocean of happiness like the Father. The children of the bestower of happiness also become bestower of happiness. They distribute the treasure of happiness to all souls. So, now become introverted and such perfect idols that no matter with what feelings people come to you, their intentions are fulfilled when they leave. Just as nothing is lacking in the Father's treasures, so you also have to become overflowing like the Father. Slogan: maintain your spiritual pride and you will never have any feeling of being insulted. Maintain your spiritual pride and you will never have any feeling of being insulted. Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you.